Welcome back to Buzz Recaps. Today I will explain a romantic drama film released in 2013. Before moving ahead, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. The movie begins in Rome, a city without a shortage of historical beauty. This city is a different world in itself. However, the lives of people living in this beautiful world are not as beautiful as they seem. The quieter the city looks during the day, the more it is as noisy at night. The rich people of Rome are lost in their luxurious lives. At night, a party. On the one hand, some people were trying to find work for themselves. On the other hand, some people were bad-mouthing them behind their backs. The party was on the birthday of a man named Jeb Gambardella. Jeb is a famous journalist and author, who is a part of every party in Rome. He has spent his entire life enjoying himself. However, on his 65th birthday, things began to change for him. After the party was over, everyone returned to their world, and the next morning Jeb began to see the beauty of the world around him. He saw things that he never paid attention to before in his life. He always went to parties and he was going close to nature for the first time. He wanted to talk to others, while some people were so lost in their pride that they did not even talk to others directly. After leaving his luxurious world, Jeb wanted to go to that world where he could get real beauty and innocence. Moreover, he had to go back to the world of art. He is a theater critic who understands art, while he finds some things and some people very strange. In the newspaper for which Jeb works, his editor Dadina is his good friend. She wants Jeb to write more books. However, Jeb is happy with his only book, written 40 years ago. Jeb's other friend, Romano, also wanted Jeb to start writing novels. Meanwhile, Jeb says he has no inspiration to write another book. Romano loves a girl younger than him, but the girl only uses him for his money. Apart from these two, Jeb had other friends who were always around him. Lello is a rich Batuni toy seller. Viola is a rich woman whose son Andrea is suffering from severe depression, and his mental condition is not good. Jeb was happy to be among these friends, and now he was beginning to see his and the lives of rich people as hollow. One night Jeb started spending time with a woman named Yetta, but despite spending the whole night with her moreover, he was not happy, and Yetta understood this too. After Jeb turned 65, he understood that he could not waste his time on things that did not make him happy, and that's why he left Yetta's house without saying anything. When he came to Rome at 26, he wanted to become the king of Rome, and he succeeded in becoming the king of Rome and the parties of Rome, thinking about his life and other things. After some time, when he returned home, a man named Alfredo came to meet him. He told him that he was the husband of a woman named Elisa, and after hearing that, Jeb was upset. Elisa was Jeb's only true love, and Alfredo gave Jeb news of her death. Alfredo and Jeb were both broken by Elisa's death. And when they went to Alfredo's house, he told them that he was just a good friend to Elisa. She married Alfredo, and after Elisa's death, when he started reading her diary, Alfredo found out that he had only loved Jeb all her life. And that made Jeb even more upset because Elisa was the one who left him. And he started thinking about his past. Years ago, Elisa and Jeb were together, and Elisa had decided to leave him. While she did not tell him any reason, after meeting Alfredo, Jeb began to try to understand himself better. He began to feel the pain of his sorrow and the world's pain, and he told Romano that he would start writing again. Romano understood that something had changed in Jeb's life. That's why he made this decision, and that's why Jeb didn't say anything to him. When his other friends found out that Jeb wanted to write a novel, among his friends, a friend named Stefania started insulting him. She started saying that Jeb was never a good writer, and it is a strange decision to put his feelings in books. However, Jeb and other friends knew that Stefania was a proud woman who did not respect anyone other than herself, and she was living a fake life. At that time, when Jeb revealed the truth of Stefania's fake life, Stefania's pride broke, and Jeb said that no one sitting there was better than the other. They are all living a fake life, that's why she should respect others. Jeb's words broke Stefania's friendship forever. That night, Jeb went to his old friend's club, where he met his friend's daughter Ramona, who works in the same club. Ramona was also not happy with her life, and while talking to her, Jeb felt for the first time that he was getting old. He wanted to feel young again. That's why he went to a clinic where rich people come for Botox surgery injections. A nun had also come to that clinic, applied the injection in her hands, and then left. The next day, Jeb went to meet Ramona. He was looking younger than before. He wanted to talk to Ramona, and Ramona also felt better after talking to him. They went on a date together. And then Andrea came to Jeb. Andrea said that he was going to die that afternoon, and his words started bothering Ramona. Meanwhile, Ramona and Jeb were happy with each other, and they also started liking each other. Later, Ramona told him that she had a disease because of which she had to work. After knowing about Ramona's past, Jeb told Ramona about Elisa that night, and he again started getting lost in Elisa's memories, but soon after leaving the memories, he asked Ramona to go to a party with him. They both went to a party where there was nothing real. Everything was fake, people were showing off their money. And some people were so lost in the world of luxury that they were not even leaving their children to live in peace. They took away the innocence of their children for their benefit. And he has forced them to become artists and present them in front of the world. At the same party, Jeb met a man named Stefano, who had the keys to the most beautiful buildings in Rome. And with his help, Jeb took Ramona to show the old art buildings. Ramona was seeing the hidden beauty of Rome for the first time. And on the other hand, Andrea was heading towards his death at the same time. And because of his mental illness, he took his own life. Later, the day of Andrea's funeral came, and Jeb knew that a funeral was a stage play, where people go with preparation and pretend to be sad. He believed that no one should cry at the funeral, and only Andrea's mother Viola could call it this funeral. Jeb was also a part of the crowd like others. Meanwhile, suddenly, something happened to him and he started crying. At that time, for the first time, he realized the pain. People in the church found out that Andrea had no friends, and no one came forward to attend his funeral. Then Jeb and his friends came forward. While picking up the coffin, Jeb started crying loudly. At that time, Ramona realized that Jeb was changing, and that's why she came close to him. Moreover, it was time for Jeb to be alone, because soon Ramona died of her illness after some days. Romans got work with the help of Jeb. At the same time, he was still not happy with his personal life. Jeb was worried about loneliness, and went to a magician named Arturo, where he was practicing to make a giraffe disappear. Jeb himself wanted to disappear from the world, and while talking about his life, suddenly, Romans come to meet him, who said that he is going to his village forever. After spending 40 years in Rome, he was returning home disappointed with the city, and Jeb was also understanding his feelings. The next day, Jeb went to Alfredo, and he started asking him about Elisa. He wanted to know why Elisa left him and married Alfredo. Moreover, the reason for her decision was not written in the diary, and that's why Alfredo didn't know anything either. Alfredo soon found his love in a woman named Polina, and he found a friend in Jeb. Meanwhile, Jeb wanted to spend his life like Alfredo, peaceful and with love. At the same time, he had to return to parties and alcohol again. Jeb was happy in front of the world, and only his maid knew that he was not getting happiness from his lifestyle. He wanted to see the real beauty, and he got this chance when a man showed him his exhibition. That exhibition was full of those pictures that his father had taken. From the birth of that man to the age of 14, his father used to take his pictures every day. And after his death, that man started taking pictures of himself. His entire story was hidden in those pictures. And Jeb got emotional after seeing the art and the hidden story. A few days later, Jeb was invited to a party where he met a cardinal named Bellucci. Jeb started asking Bellucci spiritual questions. At the same time, Bellucci was only interested in food, and she didn't answer any of Jeb's questions. Stefania was also present at that party, and Jeb forgot all his complaints with her. One day, Jeb learned that his nasty neighbor was Giulio Munetto, who was one of the 10 most wanted people in the world. When Dadina saw him immersed in deep thought about his life, she understood that Jeb was always engaged in some study, and he is completely changed. Then Dadina told him about a woman named Sister Maria. Jeb had to interview her. Sister Maria was a nun working in Africa, who has been given the rank of a saint. She was present in Rome at that time, and that's why Jeb has arranged to meet her. Sister Maria wanted to invite a rich husband and wife living in London, because they had helped Sister Maria 70 years ago. However, 2 such people were invited because they couldn't come there, who were rich before and are now broke. No one even suspected them. And when it came to Jeb's interview, Sister Maria's assistant said that after 1971, they had not given any interviews. That's why no interview will be given now. Davina wanted to hear Sister Maria's answer, and everyone started waiting for her answer. Because of old age, she gave a strange answer. Everyone was surprised to hear. Cardinal Bellucci was also talking about food at that time. And then Jeb said in front of everyone, maybe he only knows about food, and spiritual things are beyond his understanding. He found this very bad, and he decided to leave without giving any answer. Later that night, Sister Maria suddenly disappeared somewhere, and when Jeb went to his room, he found Sister Maria sleeping on the floor in the dark. The next morning, Jeb saw that his house was empty, and only Sister Maria and her assistant were there. Because of Sister Maria, Jeb saw the real beauty that day. After showing this beauty, he asked Jeb, why did he write only 1 book? In response, Jeb said that he was looking for great beauty, and he never found it. Sister Maria told him that great beauty is in our past, and in those roots from where we started. On one side, Sister Maria was fulfilling her pure faith. On the other side, with her teachings, Jeb went to the place where he started his life. He understood that the end of life is where life begins, and love and peace have more power than noise. And that day, with great beauty, Jeb got the story of his next novel. With that, the movie ends here. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Take care,